question we're answering today is, when is log used? But first we need to ask ourselves, what is log? Log is a function on the calculator, right there. The function is used to solve for unknown variables in the exponent within growth and decay functions. The exponent is used to represent an unknown time. Here's an example where the unknown variable is in the exponent. Let's break down this equation and find what each variable or number means. The 100 is in place of the y value, which represents the future amount. The 25 is in place of the a value, which represents the initial amount. The 3 is in place of the b value, which represents the growth or decay factor, the number in which it increases or decreases by. The t over 2 represents the t over x, the t meaning the time of the growth or decay over the total time it takes. That is a breakdown of the formula and equation. Can you identify if these questions would use the log function? Pause the video and see if you can figure it out. Correct. It was number 3. Now let's work on solving it together. This is the question that corresponds with the equation. The question reads, if a single cell duplicates every 3 days, how long will it take until there are 265 cells? Before we work on solving this equation, let's figure out which number represents each of the a, b, y, x, and t values. By looking at the equation, we can tell that our initial value is one single cell, which is represented here in the a value. As we continue reading the question, it tells us that the single cell duplicates every 3 days. The duplication is seen in the b value, represented by a 2. The every 3 days is represented in the time in which it takes for the duplication, the x value. The question then asks, how long will it take until there are 265 cells? This is asking for how long the total time will be before we reach our future value of 265 cells. Now that we have broken down the equation, we can work on solving it. So here we have written the equation. 265 equals 1 times 2 with t over 3 in the exponent. The first step we have to do is we have to parachute the t over 3 in front of the numbers. We're also going to simplify the 1 times 2 into simply a 2. Here, the t over 3 is being parachuted over. This is when we input the log function, and then our equation becomes to look like this. Log 265 equals t over 3, because we parachuted it over, log 2. Now you have to put log on both sides, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Since you're solving for the t value, you have to begin to isolate it. The first step in isolating for the t value is moving the log 2 over to the side with the log 265. You then end up with log 265 divided by log 2 equals t over 3. Now input into your calculator log 265 divided by log 2. The number you will get is 8.04985. You then have to isolate the t by bringing the 3 over to the other side. This will give you t equals 24.1495. Now, since the question is dealing with cells, you want to find the nearest whole number. So for this instance, t equals 24 days. This is the time it will take the single cell to become 265 cells. This is now the end of the tutorial, and you should be able to understand what log function is and when log function is used. I hope this was helpful.